So the whole purpose of the syllabus brief is we give you your class dates, information on the instructors, things like that, without having to put it all in the syllabus. So for those of you that don't know me, and I think I see a few new faces here, my name's Allison Bush. I'll be your instructor for Intro to Robotics. The other person you can talk to if you have questions about something we go over is Rich Raymond. He's next door right now teaching his class or getting prepared for it. I do have a phone number on here. It is my office phone. However, I cannot guarantee I will answer it because that phone's been on the fritz for a little bit. So, easiest way to get a hold of me is through email. I try and hit y'all back as soon as I get that email. If it's the weekend, I make no guarantees because sometimes I'm caught up in trying to do like a million and one things. And since my weekends are probably the only time I've got to help out with a lot of things, that typically is where sometimes I don't have a lot of time to come back and answer an email. If it's urgent, I will try and get back to you quickly. If it is something that I think needs to be answered by the class, I might just wait till the next class period. Okay? So at least give me about a day or two of grace period if you send me an email, and I'll try and get back to you. Try and get back to you faster than that, but doesn't always happen. Required supplies. We have a textbook that is called Introduction to Robotics. It is not available on Amazon. I wish it was. I know a lot of people wish a lot of our books were online, but they're not. So it is strictly from the bookstore. You would have to go to the bookstore website because there is no bookstore on this campus. They moved it over completely to the Birmingham campus. All right. One of the biggest things you need are safety glasses. Now, I know it seems kind of weird that you have to wear safety glasses with some of the stuff we're going to be doing in the labs and stuff. The point of the safety glasses and wearing them in lab is to get you used to wearing them continually. I don't know how many of y'all have actually worked in industry. You are supposed to wear your safety glasses at all times when you're on the shop floor, right? So anytime we're dealing with robotics and stuff like that, it's just a way to get y'all in the habit. Most of these robots are not going to poke your eye out. But at the same time, you need to have that habit ingrained into you, so you sit there and go, oh, I'm about to do a lab. Oh, I'm about to do something. I might need to have my safety glasses on. Okay? And they need to have side shields, or they need to be wraparound. So y'all will know what those mean, right? Either if you have glasses, you have to have that little bit right here that protects your eyes from the side. Otherwise, you can have the wraparounds that just wrap around your head. You need a 6-foot measuring tape with a metric scale. You do need to have that, guys. If nothing else, they do make little. How many of y'all go to Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's, any of those three? They offer little tape measures that are like maybe 6 foot for about $1, maybe $2. Okay? If you cannot find any other kind of measuring tape, those work very well. They're actually a lot smaller and more compact too. And yes, I do buy those by the handful. I lose them all the time. You need a scientific calculator. We won't be doing a lot of heavy math in this, but you might want to make sure you've got a scientific calculator in general. You need to have a thumb drive. If you don't know what a thumb drive is, the other name for it is a flash drive. Okay, you need to have 1 gigabyte minimum, which I think they all come in like, what, 3 to 4 now is the lowest you can get. You need to have a computer with internet access, and you need pencils and paper, or pen and paper in this class. Pencils preferred because of one of my own idiosyncrasies, and that is I do not like looking at a road map of scratch marks. Oh, I didn't mean to put that. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Put an arrow up to somewhere else. Oh, no, that's the wrong answer still. Scratch it out. Do another road map. Don't do that to me. Pencils are preferred. Okay? All labs that you turn in must be done in pencil. Please do not do them in pen. have to take off points if you do that. I don't like being that person. First week quizzes. All right, so let me go ahead and bring up y'all's Blackboard side. I don't know if y'all have actually taken a look at it yet or not. Come on. This is your Blackboard site. You can access it through your phone, your tablet, or your computer. They've pretty much made it inexcusable for you not to be able to get to Blackboard. Which is kind of nice. You don't have to go to the library. All right, so when you start scrolling down, you see all these different tabs. I have some of them hidden for right now because I'm still doing some things behind the scenes, but the rest of it is all ready to go. For the start here, this is where you're going to find your first week quizzes and agreements. Most of these are agreements. They're just saying, yes, I understand that there is a no children on campus policy. Yes, I understand that there is a dress code and I must adhere to the dress code. Yes, I understand the syllabus and agree to the syllabus. Safety quiz, all of this stuff, you can have the material open on one side of the page and you can use it to take the quiz. No real reason you shouldn't make pretty well on these, so. They also allow for multiple takes. I don't think I've got a limit on how many times you can take these. Take the grade you want. So, first week quizzes and agreements. And of course, all these are just different parts of this. We'll go into a little bit more of it in depth here in just a minute when we get to the syllabus. All right, so does everybody know how to get on Blackboard? If you do not, see me after everybody else leaves for the day, and I will try and help you walk through it. Okay? But I did give you some directions with this. You use your A number at lawsonstate.edu. Password is the exclamation point, capital LSCC, and then your date of birth. Okay? And then student email. Does everybody have access to their student email? All right, guys, keep an eye on that because if I'm going to send out an announcement, I also send it as an email copy to everybody. Okay? So everybody make sure you keep track of your email. All right, so that's the syllabus brief. Let's look at the syllabus itself. I've already gone over some of these. All right, so here's the nitty gritty and probably what y'all want to know most is how are things assessed? Because do you think a test grade is going to be worth as much as, let's say, a first week assignment? No, they're not. A test weighs heavier. So the way we have weighted this class, first week quizzes and agreements is 5% of your grade. Now that doesn't sound like much, but that could be the major difference between you getting a lower grade and a higher grade. Okay? If you really struggle with something, that can very well bring your grade up from, that can literally save you. I have seen it save people from really, really bad grades. Okay? We have 3 tests and a final. And why do I emphasize 3 tests and a final? Anybody know? Final is its own entity. Thank you. The final is its own entity. So let me put it to you this way. We give 3 tests. We drop the lowest test score. However, if you make 100 on all 3 tests, you still have to take the final. Okay? Non-negotiable. So the tests are 25% of your grade. Your final exam is 20% of your grade. So if you plan on making it out of this class, try not to miss the test. Okay? Assignments and homework are 13% of your grade. There's not a lot of homework to this class, guys. All I ask is that whenever we do the homework, please make sure you get it done and turned in. Labs are 35% of your grade. There's a reason for that. You're going to be doing a lot of labs. We have two different labs. We have one with a little yellow robot that you and I don't know if they'll let us do partners for labs anymore. I have to look into that. We have a little yellow robot that y'all will be using, and we also have, I've got one of them out. We have a Lego robot that you will be building and that you will be programming. So that's always fun. Required supplies in general, I don't know why that says lab supplies, but required supplies in general are worth 2% of your grade. Again, it doesn't sound like much, but it can bring your grade up. So can you pass this class without taking labs? If you ace everything completely, yes. You won't get out of here with, no, actually you don't. Sorry, 35%, not 25. So no, actually, you cannot make it out of this class without the labs, guys. So make sure you are here and you are getting those done, okay? Just word of caution. All right? We've already talked about first week quizzes and agreements. We've talked about tests, homework, required supplies, final exam. For those of you that don't know, you have to make a C to pass your classes, guys. D is considered a failing grade for most classes. That includes this one. Okay? So make sure you get your stuff done, guys. That's all I can really say. This class and most of the classes in our department are basically set up so that you cannot fail out of this class unless you just decide you don't want to come to class and you don't want to do the work. Okay? It's up to you. Recorded lectures, I will be recording them just like I am now, and I post them to YouTube. And I will provide you the YouTube link. There will be a playlist, especially for this class. You will also see playlists from older classes. I've only been doing this about a year, so they're not as prolific as Rich Raymond's or some of the other people that have 1,000,001 videos. However, they are out there. They are starting to multiply. All right, so let's talk about attendance. For those of you that know me, you've heard this lecture before, and you understand what I'm about to say. You walk through these doors. You are an adult. That is how I will treat you. Okay? What that means is that it is not my responsibility for y'all dragging yourselves here. Okay? Whose responsibility is it for y'all to be here? Take your finger, point it at yourself, and say, me. Because it is you. There is no truancy officer. There is no parent that is going to sit there and nag you and say, you need to go to class. You need to go to class. No. You're here of your own will, guys. I cannot force you. I'm not going to come to your house, grab you by the ear, and drag you here. It is up to you to do it. Okay? So that being said, when it comes to whether you're absent or you're here, I tend to take attendance later in the class. Why? Because I understand some of y'all are coming off work or you're coming from a real big distance, traffic and everything else. So I do understand that, guys. But with that, it also comes down to, are you here or are you not? Does that make sense? And again, it's your own self that has to make sure you are here. Okay? Withdrawals is up to y'all, guys. If you feel like you cannot complete this class, or you decide you just don't want to come anymore, I do not have the power to drop you out of my class. Okay? If you decide to just stop coming, just randomly one day said, I don't want to go to class anymore. I'm done with this. I don't want to do this. Well, if you don't drop the class, I'm going to have to give you the grade you get. And that goes on your record. Okay? So if you feel like you cannot complete this class, or if you just end up with something really bad going wrong in life, if we cannot work out a way for you to continue the class, then it is up to you to drop it. Okay? As that decision is always in your hands. I cannot drop you. Okay? They do not give me that power. I will try and get all classes started at the scheduled time. I ask that y'all all try and be on as close to on time as you can be, guys. Okay? Like I said, I do understand traffic. I understand the babysitter doesn't show up and you're stuck with your kid for a little bit longer and you need to take them to daycare or something like that. I understand. But try and be here on time. Academic integrity. Now, this is something else I will step onto a soapbox for. And there's a reason. Because I have had a lot of misconduct with this. I don't like being the bad guy, guys. I really don't. But at the same time, I also have to wonder how stupid y'all think we are. Because, and I will give y'all this warning now. If you think that we cannot tell that you and your partner are sharing answers, or you and somebody next to you are sharing answers, when I get your lab and their lab, and it is verbatim written out, think we can't tell? It is a rampant problem sometimes. So I'm giving you the clue right now. Multiple choice, yeah, I can accept that you and your partner have the exact same answers, but it's multiple choice. Written answers, just put it in your own words, please. Don't make me have to be the one sitting there going, okay, these people all have the exact same answers. Why are those answers exactly the same? And it really bugs me when those are all wrong answers. So not only did you copy from somebody, you copied the wrong answer. I'm not looking for what does your neighbor know. I'm not looking for what one person knows. I want to know what all of you know. What did you learn from the lab? Don't copy it from somebody. Use your own words. Too many instances of cheating like that, you will be drugged before the vice president of the college, and he will have to handle this situation. So ask yourself, is having that answer correct according to what the person next to you says? Is your academic career worth that? That's up to you. Like I said, I'm giving you all this warning now because I have had a severe issue with it before. I do not want to take issue with any of y'all for doing it. Okay? I said, just a warning, I do not put up with it. Why? Because I know everybody is smarter than that. If I do catch it, you will get a 0 on that assignment too, guys. That's how seriously we take it. Don't make me be the bad guy. Use your own words. Okay? Course concerns. If you have a concern about the course, let's say you don't understand why we're having to do something one way, come talk to me and I'll try and explain it to you. If you and I cannot resolve it, the next person to take it to is Rich Raymond. That's his office. I will gladly point you to his office if you and I cannot solve it. Okay? And the next person after that is Nancy Wilson. Last person on that stop is Bruce Crawford, who is our vice president. He's the last one you should be going to for stuff like that. But it's going to be up to me and y'all to try and resolve it first. Okay? All right, discrimination, harassment, I don't put up with it. You know, that's all I'm going to really say on that is I don't put up with it. I draw a very fine line of don't do it. Just be respectful to everybody, okay? Be respectful to your other students, respectful to everything, and we're good. Disabilities. Now, here's the funny thing. I know nobody ever wants to admit they have a disability, right? Why? Because for the longest time, it's always been looked down on, right? I'm here to tell you that that shouldn't be, okay? I've got a niece with ADHD. When she does not have her medicine, she can't stop talking. And she bounces around the house like a crazy thing. That being said, were she in my class and she did not give me something that says, you know, hey, I have this issue and I might need more time on tests, or I might need more one-on-one time with the teacher for just a little bit to help me understand things. If she does not give me a paper from the ADA office, I can't do anything. You can tell me you have ADD, ADHD, you have one hand, and you need help with this other stuff. You can tell me all that all you want to all day. But if they don't send me a piece of paper, I can't accommodate. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. So I have had people come up to me and go, well, I have ADHD and I need extra time on tests. I can't really give that to you unless you got me a paper. And I've literally had people come up to me and tell me that kind of stuff. Cell phones and pagers. Pagers are not something you have a lot of anymore. There are some people that still use them. That being said, cell phones and pagers, I ask that when you are in my classroom, I won't tell you to turn off your cell phone. I will tell you, put it on vibrate. Okay? And if it comes up as a call you have to take, there are 2 exits in this room. There is one over here to outside. There is one over here to the hallway. If you must take your phone call, do not disturb my class. Just take your phone, take it out to the hallway or to outside, answer your phone, and do what you need to do with that phone call. Okay? That's just out of being polite. All right? Any questions on that? I said, I don't mind if you have your cell phones. I just ask that if you use them, it not be in classroom. Okay? I don't mind if you take pictures of the board. I don't mind if you take pictures or do whatever, or take video. If you need to record lecture, I've already got it recording, but if you want to record it yourself, that's fine too. Okay? I don't mind. But if you have to take that phone call and you've got to start chatting to somebody, because it might be an emergency. You know, it might be somebody got sick, somebody got hurt, somebody got in a wreck. Your boss could be calling you saying, I need you at work now. I understand circumstances. I do. All I ask is that if you have to take that call, just take it outside. Like I said, there are 2 exits. Be a flight attendant. 2 exits on either wing. Anyway. Acceptable use policy. If it's something that you would cringe at having your parents see over your shoulder, then chances are it's not acceptable to have it open at school. Okay? Basically, treat our stuff with respect, guys. Children on campus. This is another one that tends to be something that most people don't understand why we have a no children on campus policy. And I'll tell you exactly why. I've got 7 nieces. I've been through, the oldest one is now 17. So I've been through the young years and the toddler years and children years. So sitting in a classroom for 3 hours, maybe 4, without something to keep them occupied, what do you end up hearing? They'll come up to you and start trying to mess with you and go like, okay, I'm bored. Do something with me. Not only that, we're dealing with big, heavy machinery that has pinch points and that they don't always understand. Keep your hands off that, right? And in today's very sensitive society, if you tell somebody's child, hey, don't touch that, even if it's for their own protection, what do most people tend to do? Who are you to tell my child what they can and can't do? Sound about familiar? Because I can't tell you how many times I was working in retail and got slapped with that one. Don't pull pins out of fabric. Those pins are A, sharp, and B, holding my fabric closed. Got in trouble a couple of times for saying something to a kid like that. And it is what it is. Right? In today's society, nobody wants you to correct their children. It is what it is, right? So if you have an issue with that, I'm sorry, but that is the policy of the college, is to not have children on campus. Yes. We're about to come to that, and that is, there's a couple of ones. Generally, I ask that you do not eat in here. If you must eat something, again, there's a door right there. Please take it outside. We've had ant problems in here, okay? We have had bug problems and things like that. We don't want them, you know? We don't want an ant problem in the room. As for drinks, I just ask that they have a lid, okay? If you have to have a drink, I ask that you have a way to seal it. Why? Because I don't want to see somebody with a bunch of my equipment going, oops. Right? I said, I don't mind if you drink in class. Let me put it this way. I don't mind if you drink a soda, tea, water, juice, or anything that is non-alcoholic in class. How about that? Let me put that caveat in. I can just see somebody sitting there going, oh, she said we could drink in class. Drinks that are appropriate to the time of day. I will allow those as long as they have a lid on them. And with the full knowledge that if you make the spill, I do have paper towels around this building. Lastly, profanity. Again, I like to treat everybody as they're adults. However, profanity is something that is typically frowned on by a lot of people. Now, if you end up tripping over, let's say, one of these plug covers and landing face first on the ground, and you happen to let something loose, I can understand that. Done that a few times. Generally because I'm a bit of a klutz. However, I don't want to hear in conversation every other word be an F-bomb, a GD, a whatever. Keep it PG-13, okay? At the most. Son of a monkey. Make it funny. If you must feel like you have to do something like that, okay? Keep it clean, guys. That's all I ask, is keep it clean. Deal? All right. Any questions about the syllabus? Any questions on how to contact me or my boss? Any questions at all about any of this, guys? Now's the time to ask. Okay.